Okay, Tim, we're live.
Good evening and welcome to the September 16th meeting of the North Road Diversity and Inclusion Committee. Becca, do you have the note from the governor?
I do. Somewhere. Okay. Pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law June 16, 2021, this meeting will be conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted. This meeting will be live streamed, but will have no option for public participation. To view or listen only, visit the YouTube link posted on our agenda on the town's website.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda tonight is to approve the meeting minutes from August 19th. Did anybody have anything to add? Any comments on the meeting minutes?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Motion by Deidre, second by Sheikah. Roll call vote. Deidre Writing,
Aye.
Sheikah Holland,
Aye.
Virginia Sims George,
Aye.
Becca Meekins,
Aye.
and I, Tim Kalin, vote aye. Meeting minutes are approved. Next item is just coordination for Apple Fest on Saturday. Just as a recap, we could start setting up our table at 4. Michelle said people start showing up around 5, and we'll probably keep the table up until dusk, so 7:30-ish. Then break the table down, throw everything into a car, and then we can drop it off the next day. And then if you want, if your family's coming down for the fireworks, then everybody will have time to watch the fireworks. So Mary said that she had a table, chairs, and a tent. I will reach out to her just to confirm that with her and make sure that she can come down to the high school. It's at the high school, in case anybody didn't know that.
Tim, where do the tables get set up? Do you know? Like what part?
I think, when you pull into when you pull down the driveway to the high school, if you go right and go around to back to like where the tennis courts are,
Mm-hmm.
and then to the right, I forget what fields are over there, but to the right of the tennis courts, I think along that stretch of road and around the other side. Down
Okay, but it's towards the right, not towards the football field.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And usually they have somebody out in front when you pull in, directing people where to go. So it's something in the past, it's been Michelle's husband, Dave. So I don't know if he's going to be doing it, but they usually have somebody. So when you pull in, just let them know that you're there to help set up the D&I table, and then they'll direct you where to go. Okay. So Mary's got the table, chairs, and tent. Virginia, you've got the sign and the flyers, so we're good there. Deidre, you were bringing an easel.
Yep, check. I brought it home this week, so it's here with me.
All right, perfect. Sheikah, were you going to get some water and stuff like that?
Is that okay to do? I just wasn't sure. I can still do it. Cool.
Yeah. The other thing I thought of was bug spray. Because Because everybody brings their kids and they forget bug spray and then they get eaten by mosquitoes. So if you have bug spray, it just, that's
Oh,
something
just
that,
a bug spray on the table kind of thing? Like,
Yeah.
here, you want to spray yourself after you
yeah,
you
we've
talk?
got bug spray.
That's a good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know
One
that
thing-
just because my kids were out the other night and they got eaten alive. So it's,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the time of year. The only other thing I was thinking, because I know we're trying to get people to, continue the conversation with us through social media as much as possible, or even start to engage with us. Is there any way that we could do like a giveaway of sorts? Nothing crazy, maybe a gift certificate to like a local place, and say like, hey, like follow our group on Facebook, and then we'll pick a random follower at this time on Sunday or something, and then reach out to you and say, hey, you won this gift certificate. I don't know if we can do something like that, but I was just trying to think of like ways that we could get people to join in and stay engaged with us beyond this one point in time at the booth. I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody
that's-
has any thoughts around that, but
If that's a great idea. The only issue is short. And I do know, I have a couple of people I think usually will give things but I don't know if somebody can go and solicit them. Davidian Farms is usually pretty good, and they may give a gift certificate, and then Millie, who owns the French restaurant, might give something.
say la vie
Because
over
the-
there.
Say la
Mhm.
vie, yeah.
Okay.
Then the other one, the Grand Marshal, but she'll be busy. Dawn Rand would probably give something for her school. So there's some people that, if it's very short notice, and I don't know if anybody has time to go to ask, but I do think those people would probably be good about doing something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Either that, or I was just gonna say, just get a gift card, like, which I would be happy
You
to
could do
too.
that.
Yep, I'd be happy to contribute too.
Yeah. The only thing, and I don't know if this is something to consider, but like if we're saying like, hey, we're going to give away a gift card from this local business, I don't know if there needs to be some sort of a dialogue between our committee and that business to say, hey, like we're doing this. We're going to be giving away a gift card on behalf or connected to your business. And I just want to make sure it's very clear, we're transparent about what we're doing in case anyone has any questions or pushback or anything like that. That was the only thing that had popped in my mind with us going ahead and just buying a gift card and giving it away. I don't know if that's actually if that's a concern, but
Well,
that
with
was
the
my
short
original.
list, that might be because of the timing. Tomorrow is Friday.
I
The
know
event is
it already
Saturday.
starts.
So a
Yeah.
gift card may be easier and
Yeah.
quicker. I don't know, can we do that, Becca? And get
Yeah.
reimbursed by the town?
We don't even need it.
That part.
Really, especially your luck, Virginia.
I wasn't even
There you
looking for
go.
that.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to, it doesn't have to be like an outright, like, I was thinking like $25. Like,
Right.
it doesn't have to be
I was
anything.
thinking like 50.
Yeah, now, Virginia, you're getting crazy. Now you're talking reimbursement and $50 and.
I agree with 50.
You agree with 50? You want to go half with me then?
Yes. I'll
Okay.
go back with you.
All right. That's fine.
Do you guys know, just because I would want to make like a couple of like table talk flyers, just so people know we're doing it. So they know, you know what I mean? So they see, and to, follow us on Facebook to win a gift certificate or whatever. So as soon as you know where you're getting it from, just shoot me an email so I can create those little flyers that we can just throw on the table and try to.
Let's do C'est La Vie. I'm so excited about them. I had a chance to go recently, and the food is really good. And
They're sort of expensive if you, and I think it's expensive and maybe more of a limited menu. If I would suggest just maybe an Amazon gift card, because again, Sheikha was saying, the connection to a special business may generate some conversation. And, you know, because I love romaines. That's really good kind of thing like that. But I think keeping it neutral probably is better because I don't know
Mhm.
though I don't know Say La Vie's people well enough to say that's someone we really want to associate with,
That's
kind
fair.
of thing, or this person or that person.
I think
So-
Amazon works.
Yeah,
Just
I think that's a good idea.
one suggestion. It is Latino Heritage Month
Hmm.
this month, and
Yeah.
we get a gift card from Rancho Corona, the Mexican place down by Rockies. They're awesome.
They are
make
fantastic. I go there.
excellent food.
That's a good
Across the
idea.
street.
It's next to the Lava Java place.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
across the street from there. Okay,
Really
that's an
good.
excellent idea.
I
That's a really
haven't been there.
Oh, it's great. You should go.
It's really good, Deirdre. I go there like every
Really?
Really?
but
I
it's really good, and that's actually a really good idea. They kind of know my name. Maybe I'll go and ask them. They're okay with that.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, Shika, how do they kind of know your name?
Well, if she's going every week.
I go very often. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's so good. Okay, that's a great idea though. I like that. Do you want me to? I could probably swing there tomorrow, ask a quick question, and if there's any pushback, any questions, anything like that, that makes it long, like we can't get it done quickly, then Deirdre, I'll let you know, and then we'll just do like Amazon instead. Well,
Okay.
I'll let everybody know.
And then can you let me know your Venmo, if you have Venmo?
Yes, I'll do that too.
Oh, okay. They're right on West Main. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right next to the
Lava Java.
Lava Java and the vet hospital, the VMA is right there.
Yes, Pickle House
Um,
is over there. Mhm.
Across the street from Romaine's.
Is that where the sandwich shop is? Is that the
Yeah,
same?
Pickle House.
Okay,
Yeah.
They're not in that
No,
plaza.
It's the next
They're in
one.
the
Next
next
one.
plaza.
No,
Okay.
it's the pickle house, and then it's the veterinarian, and then it's there. It's on
Yeah.
sort of like on a corner across from Romaine.
Mhm.
There's like the Mexican, there's an Japanese place, you know, food place, and then a couple other things. But it's right on the right next to Lava Java is the best way to describe it.
Mhm.
You know what? And if, you know, truth be told, I'll give $10 toward if you have to buy it so that you don't all have to come out with the money. You know, we chip in a little bit, we can come up with 50, 60, you know, whatever.
Thanks, Virginia.
Okay.
And Mary has joined us, but she's being quiet.
Hi, I was in
Hi,
my
Mary.
car. I've had a super long day. I'm sorry. And I joined
Oh.
late, so I'm trying to catch up on the conversation. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Mary.
Hi.
We were just talking about prep for Saturday at Apple Fest.
Yes, and a gift card of some sort.
Yeah, so we're gonna do a gift card. Are you still able to bring the table, chairs, and the pop-up tent thing you do?
Yep.
Okay. All right, that'd be great.
Yep. So am I planning for 4 o'clock?
4:00.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have the tablecloth. It's really cute. It's nice.
All right,
Yeah.
very good.
Last time we started the discussion on how to kind of leverage this to get people to come to the listening session. And I was wondering if people had more ideas on that. Is it like, if they do join the Facebook, we could use that to, is there a way to direct message the people in a group? Or if we just put it onto the group, will they see it to be able to
Yeah,
not
I was gonna,
register, right?
I do want to have that conversation. Can we hold off on that just for a couple minutes? I just want to get the logistics of Saturday straightened out or agreed upon, and then that's exactly where the next conversation should be.
Okay, sounds good.
And then Becca, are you gonna bring the flags
Yeah, yeah, I have 2 flags and I have, a whole bunch of little like rainbow heart stickers that we can tear off and people can take. Yeah.
Is there a designated spot for us?
There will be, I don't know where it is, so when you come into the high school, there should be somebody out front that will direct you to where to go.
Okay,
But if there's not, it's usually down next to the tennis courts.
okay,
All right, down that back corner there. And then off to the other side of the street of the tennis courts in that open field, not towards the football field, the other way.
okay. Is anyone
Okay.
else at 4?
Yeah, I will definitely meet you there at 4.
Okay, that's great.
All right, I think that's everything that we'll need. If there's anything else that people want to bring, feel free to bring whatever you need. But I think otherwise we should be in good shape. And then as far as times go, if you can't be there at 4 o'clock, just let me know and I can, if needed, swing by your house and just pick up the stuff that we need and bring it over to the high school. That way everybody doesn't have to be there at 4 o'clock. Or if everybody wants to get there at 4 o'clock, everybody, I just want everybody to feel obligated that they have to be there at 4. So just let me know. Mary, I'll definitely be there at 4.
Okay, because I'll need up that pop-up tent. You need,
Yeah.
sure. Okay,
And like Michelle said, she said that people start showing up around 5. So I think the more people that we have from the committee there, because it's only a couple hours, I think it would be great. So if people have the ability to be there, that would be terrific.
what time are we gonna break it down?
My guess, I was thinking like dusk, like what time does the sun go down? 7:30, somewhere in there. Because I just figure people will stop walking around, and at that point we'll be kind of settled into their spots for the fireworks and everything else. So then I figure we take the table down, get everything put away, and then if you're meeting your family or down there for the fireworks, you just stay and watch the fireworks.
Right. Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to get a portable time clock to make sure everybody punches in and punches out, so I know who's there. And does that sound good for everybody? Any suggestions, or am I missing anything as far as the logistics go? Okay.
Is there a
Um,
tablecloth? I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm bringing the table. It came in. I have it.
Oh, you got everything.
I got it.
Nice.
Welcome.
Okay. So then I think the next thing to talk about was Deidre's question about what do we do when we get people? How do we engage with people and better inform them about the listening session so that we get as many participants as we can? Because ultimately, that's the outcome that we're aiming for, is to get as many people involved with the listening session as we can. So did anybody have any ideas around that?
So I think, if you point people, I think we should tell people about it, obviously, when we're there, but when we point people to the Facebook page, once people join our group, the event for the listening session on Facebook has been created and attached to our group. And once people join the group, we can direct invite all the people that are in the group to the event. So the pitch is join the group. We'll send you the invite to the event, which will have the link and everything. And then I think, we had talked about coming up with prompts or ideas. And I think in the week leading up to the listening session, we should probably, hopefully we'll have more people in the group and we can use the group to post ideas and, get people to start thinking about the discussion that we're going to be having on the 30th. That's how I envisioned it happening.
I just got it, the diversity and inclusion public listening session invitation. Thank you. Cool.
Do you think we should have a email sign up sheet in case anybody's not on Facebook for whatever reason? And they can just leave their email address with us and we can email them the information.
Great idea.
Yeah, because I'm not on Facebook. And I keep saying we got to remember those of us who are like me, who don't
Or
do
not.
Facebook. So that may be how you include me and
Does
others like me.
Does anybody have a clipboard they can bring?
I was gonna say, what did you all think about, I think I mentioned maybe
Or
doing it on an iPad or something like that, just because sometimes transcribing the emails is not always easy, depending on people's penmanship. Would you prefer just paper or, I can
love
bring
it.
an iPad.
I love your iPad. You're right.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't have,
Yeah.
my kids have destroyed the iPad that we have. So it's literally coated in jelly.
Oh, gosh.
How many kids do you have, Tim?
I have two, but it seems like a dozen. I don't know what's going on. So if somebody has plus it's in this big giant blue foam case, it's like carrying a cooler.
I have an iPad.
So I
Somewhere.
can make a spreadsheet, just like a spreadsheet, or like a Google form, like a Google sheet or a Google form. Do you have more questions than just name and email?
I think that's all we really need because it's just that way we can send them an email with all the information for the listening session.
So I think the sheet will be the sheet with like name and email. That should be
Yeah.
fine. Awesome. Yeah, I like that, Mary. Maybe more than one iPad. If you want, we can link to the same document.
Okay.
And we can include those people in the gift card drawing too.
And remember, we're not eligible for the gift card drawing.
Who said that? Who said so?
I did.
I was going to ask Becca what her thoughts were there.
'Cause
I know, I
probably
think we
win.
should be
That's why
eligible.
I said that. I would probably win, so I'm saying we're not eligible.
That's fair.
Okay.
I think it would be funny if somebody from the committee did win, and then at our next meeting, they just sat with a big giant layout of Rancho Corona and just sat eating a giant burrito. Thank you, committee. Mm.
Don't forget the margaritas.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wait, they have margaritas over there?
Yes.
Oh,
And to go. You can get them to go. It's very
What?
Mhm. You have to get over there, Deirdre. I think you're going to be surprised.
yeah. You really do. It's a great place.
Oh.
They did the inside's beautiful. They
They did a good
They
job.
do a bang up job. I don't think I'm there quite as often as Sheikah, but we probably
No,
go.
I don't
two or
think
three
anyone's
times
there
a
as much as me. Yeah.
Maybe we should have our next meeting there.
Yeah, I'm a little worried I'm not going to recognize you all in person. It happened recently that I had only met someone on Zoom and I was in the elevator with them thinking, they look familiar. And it wasn't until later that I was like, oh, it did. Like people just look different in 3 dimensions. Or
Yeah. I carry a cardboard thing that looks like the Zoom screen and I just hold it up to people. So I'm like, oh, that's where I know you from.
That's funny.
All right. So does that work for everybody as far as discussion points with people? When we're talking with people? Just to get them to sign up or to like the Facebook page and just to get them interested in taking part in the listening session. I can see questions about what the listening session is actually going to be, and it's really not. It's not to assign blame. It's really to listen and learn from each other.
Do you think we need to wear name tags so people can identify who's on the committee? Hello, my name is. I know it's tacky, but
it's a good idea. My first thought was that I recently saw name tags that had a slot for name and a slot for pronouns. Too bad I just saw those today. I don't actually have them, but it would be nice. But yes, I like that idea. I don't know if I have any that we could use, but I think it's pretty easy to get. I can bring some name tags and a few markers.
Okay. Yeah, because even if you don't have any, just let me know, because I can just run over to Staples and get a sheet of the sticker name tags.
Yeah.
I feel like they have them now a lot of places with the pronouns. I think it's pretty common. I feel like I've seen those in Staples.
Yeah, probably.
stupid. What are we saying? Pronouns, like how you pronounce it?
No, like he, she,
Oh,
he, her, they, them.
okay. I'm still lost. It's been a long time. Like, I don't get it. It's like a
No,
joke.
so
How do you want to be referred to? Yeah.
I think so. Usually, this for whatever reason, this Zoom kind of limits us. But
You
so
used to have it there. I used
all
to
of
see it
my
on
stuff
yours.
isn't showing up
Mhm.
today, but I usually have my name and then my pronouns so that people know what to call me. But it really, what it does is create a safe space for people to feel comfortable sharing their pronouns, no matter what they are.
Mhm.
And if you are prefer they, them, it might be more difficult for you to say that, because then people become very curious, like, why are you they, them, and all of this. It's not always safe, but if someone has signaled to you by sharing their pronouns that this is a place where I understand about pronouns and I'm willing to use the pronouns that you prefer, or that are yours, whatever they may be. That's why someone who identifies as she, her, and looks like she, her would
Use it.
do that. It's basically signaling to everybody that it's fine to be yourself here.
Okay, got it. So Tim, you're gonna get name tags, or Deirdre, you're gonna?
I will.
Okay.
Great.
All right. Anything else on Applefest? And if everybody's there a little bit earlier too, I mean, we'll have time to talk amongst ourselves too, once we're there.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so next on the agenda is marketing and outreach for the listening session. So obviously a big piece of that is Applefest. I'm psyched to hear that you guys set up the event. That's really, that's great, because that will be a huge help to get people information about the listening session. So I think Facebook we're good, but to Virginia's point that she makes, not everybody's on Facebook. So are there other avenues or channels that we can use to market the listening session? One area that I think would be great would be the senior center. And what's the best way? I know that, seniors are on Facebook, but is there another way to inform people that use the senior center about the listening session? Do they have an event board there? I don't know.
Yeah, they have an area for like flyers, events, things like that.
Would they
So-
advertise it for us in their newsletter? Or,
Yeah, but it's monthly and I don't know when it went out. Yeah, we might have.
It's out for it. It's already out. I'm not sure when the next one will be.
I think
let's
they'll come, I think they come out at the beginning of the month, right, Virginia? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
along those lines, would it be worth letting the people that we've invited to talk to us know, and then maybe they can pass it on to people in their organizations?
I think that's a great idea.
So yeah, we got a lot of helpful information from you. It's like, do any of your other either staff or colleagues, would they like to join us?
Another thing I can do too is with the graphic designer that I worked with to get the flyer and the poster done. I can just ask her to repurpose the poster, because it's just the poster is just our mission statement and then info about the listening session and the QR code. So if we repurpose that to make it something that we can either print as a PDF, print as a small 8x11 handout, or attach as a PDF to emails, because that way, like if say we were to reach out to like Chief Parenti at the fire department and say, if there's anybody at the fire department that's interested in taking part in our listening session, here's an attached flyer with all the information, QR code for our Facebook, but like it's all here. So if you want to pass this along to your staff or print it and leave it at the front desk, that would, if anybody's interested.
I think also at one point we spoke about maybe engaging local businesses or churches, and we didn't necessarily have time on our appointment list. So this might be a way, like we can invite them. I don't know if there's like a list or a way to just blast all of the businesses at once, like a Chamber of Commerce type of thing, but I guess we might take the flyer around.
Yeah, I mean, we have a list in-house for like licensing, and I don't know if I really want to use that list to
Okay.
set, you know what I mean? But I'm
It's not a
wondering, if,
marketing
like,
list.
yeah, I'm wondering if like Susie and the community affairs group, I feel like they must have connections to local businesses because they've been doing events with local businesses. So maybe we should just, I mean, honestly, I feel like if we send it to that group, they'll make sure that it gets out. So yeah, I can come up with a list. I have everyone's emails that we've invited in because that's how I got in touch with them. So Tim, if you create like a little PDF or something, like a visual, I can just attach. And then I can send out an email to everybody that we invited in and just let them know. And then if I have an electronic version of that, I can post it on all the town Facebook pages. The senior center has a Facebook page, the clerks, I can ask the PD to post it on their page. They have a lot of followers. And I just need like a graphic, like something that it like stands out, you know? I don't want to just put text on Facebook pages.
No, but I can work with my graphics person to do a PDF and do Facebook sized graphic.
And then I was thinking we should ask the community advocate if they could put something online, like a little ad that just talks about the session and maybe has a link, maybe to our page, our Facebook page. And then I can also post it on the website, on our page, the town's website, and then send it to the folks that are signed up for the town emails through the website.
There's also all of the town Facebook pages, like if any of us are members, like Northborough Moms, etc. Can maybe
Yeah.
post there. I don't know, what other avenues did we use for the survey? Are those still avenues that we could use for this? I don't even remember now.
Yeah, I think so. I think we used social media, community advocate, and just word of mouth sharing the link. So I think we can use a lot of those methods. Like I think if we reach out to the community advocate, if they'll print the QR code in the article, because then people can just, instead of having the link in the newspaper, can have the QR code,
Mhm.
the link and the QR code, just to make it
Yes.
easier for people. When's the next Board of Selectmen meeting?
The Monday before a session, the 23rd is, I think is the date. 27th, I'm sorry, 27th.
Okay. Because I can reach out to Jason Perot and see if he'll mention it in his reports, or
I can mention it too.
I was gonna say, or if you want to talk about it, that would be great.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'll work on getting an 8x11 of the poster in a PDF form so that we can share that via email. And also a Facebook ad, a graphic for Facebook, not for an ad, but for a Facebook post. Does anybody know anybody at the Advocate? No.
Well,
Okay.
Liz, I don't think Liz is with them anymore.
No, I
but,
don't think so.
I know a lady who is with the advertising but I don't know, like a writer.
I think I have, there's someone new who's covering, and the name escapes me, but they did reach out to our office. I can try to get that name. I'm pretty sure I have the email. One of us has the email in the office.
Okay,
So once you get me the graphic, I'll start blasting. I'll send out all the emails with the requests to just sort of like spread the word. And then we'll go from there.
okay. And then Susie Sislika from the Community Affairs actually sent me an email today about the Community Affairs Committee is looking to do the holiday season activities that they do, and then looking to do some stuff at the beginning part of 2022. And they'd like to have a joint meeting between their committee and our committee so that we can incorporate the ideas that we discussed when they were in last time and actually make them a reality for when they do their holiday stuff in 2022 first quarter activities. So I'm actually hoping to talk to Susie tomorrow about just some of the details for that. And I'll ask her about reaching out to businesses in town. So that should get us a pretty, some good reach.
Yeah, that's great. too.
All the stuff.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit more about the format of the listening session itself? Just in terms of, I mean, if we're just gonna ask people to raise their hands like they do at board meetings and then bring them in for up to 5 minutes each, are we gonna have questions, or is it just gonna be like an open dialogue? Is that, do people have thoughts?
Well,
Well, I wouldn't give them 5 minutes. I would give them 3.
Okay, well, however many minutes we think is appropriate. I don't know if we want to try to like direct the conversation at all, or if we're just gonna let it be like an open, come as you are, say what you need kind of thing.
I think we should be really clear about what we want to know. So after reading the survey, for example, were there questions that came up that would be nice to follow up on, to get like more information on? That's one thing that comes to mind. The other thing is whether we still need information to help with the report. And if like whatever that information is this the right forum to ask those questions?
I think the feedback or discussions or questions that are asked during the listening session, just those conversations will be, I hope, very informative. And then I think those discussions will just naturally be part of the report. Like I think of like, we hear from the listening session, we learn these things, and this is why we need to hire a consultant to come in 2022 to help the town implement these programs, because we heard from the residents and they feel it's needed. You know, so I think we use the listening session as feedback to support the recommendations that we make in the report.
Got it. Okay.
So like one area that really struck me from the survey, and I would like to learn more about, is how disabled people feel about the services and support they receive in town. Because that was, I think, that was something that was mentioned or clear in the survey.
Were there any other things, Tim? Because I think my one concern is that we just open it up, you could get a lot of just, what people think, what they feel, but maybe identifying 4 key areas that we want to get feedback on, and then at least have those. But if people just wanted to say something, that's okay. But I would, try to have some topic areas where you want to get input. And I like the idea of the one that you have with the disability.
Yeah. I mean, another possible discussion topic could be how do we continue to make Northborough more welcoming and inclusive? But I don't know if that's too general.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Tim, do we have access to the survey in any form? I know you did some work getting it into Tableau, and
Yes.
the reason I'm asking is I could take a stab at creating a script for us. I think Virginia is right. When you open it up for kind of a free-for-all, you really don't necessarily get what you're looking for, and it can be a little bit chaotic. So really having a clear set of, like, an opening that explains what we're here for and what the purpose, a set of questions, and giving people an opportunity to respond for a certain period of time, and then a close would be important to have.
Yep.
And I like the question so far about the disabled people and making our town inclusive and welcoming. But I bet we could come up with 2 or 3 more, even 4 more questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that. And one of the things we do at school committee, when we open it up for sessions, we say very clearly that, people will have 3 minutes. We'll give them a warning when at 2.5 or something, so they know to wrap it up, and then they not be able to speak until somebody else, other people are acknowledged. So not one person won't continue to take the floor and share their opinions, but to make sure it's we get more diverse and inclusiveness with it. So I like the idea of just saying, hey, you have 3 minutes, and we'll let you know when you're at 2.5 or something. And if time permits, they could speak again later.
Yeah, I do like the idea of, I mean, I think it's important to have a time limit, but I also want to leave flexibility for discussion if warranted. If somebody calls in and they make a really good point, and it warrants discussion, like us from the committee may have follow-up questions for that person, and
Right.
it may extend longer than 3 minutes. So I think that needs to be, like, it just needs to be flexible. And that could just be, somebody saying, Chair, I think we need more time to discuss this. Can we extend for another 3 minutes? Like it could just be those. I think that's how they do it at the Board of Selectmen. If something's going a little bit longer, then somebody just asks for more time and then it's granted.
Aside from the time, are there other ground rules that people would like to see respected?
Yeah, I think at the beginning, much to your point, Deidre, when we're setting the structure of what it's going to look like, part of that structure is guidelines. And those guidelines are probably going to look a lot like the guidelines that we have on Facebook.
Right.
Like you've got to be respectful. Intolerance won't be tolerant. Like, you just go through the rules, and by raising your hand and entering the conversation, you agree to these guidelines. And if they are any violation of the guidelines will not be tolerated, and you will be cut off and removed from the meeting immediately. Because there just can't be any room for violating the guidelines in this format. So.
Right, that sounds good.
I do think we need to say something about, I'm not sure how to order or something about people not being, continuing to have the conversation, that once somebody speaks, we need to let others speak. And if they want to come back and speak again, they can, but not continue. I don't think we should have a dialogue with one person for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that.
Not have a conversation with a single person for 15 or 20 minutes. Is that what you're?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
agree with. I agree with that. I think if something comes up that's requires that sort of conversation, it's probably a bigger topic that needs to be taken offline anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it's like the Board of Selectmen meetings, when somebody calls in, they got to give their full name and their address.
Yeah.
It's not like call in and just start talking. Like, we need what's your name and what's your address.
Yeah.
Because there's some level of accountability if you got to share your name and address.
So are we limited this to only Northborough, or can anybody call from Sudbury or Egypt or whatever? Because like a town meeting or Board of Selectmen, it's limited. It's like you're Northborough resident, so you give your name and your address.
Yeah, Northborough only. Absolutely, okay. Northborough only.
Thank you.
So I think when we start the meeting, there's the waiting room of everybody waiting to come in. I think we need somebody that manages the waiting room and when people come in. And Becca, can you, I mean,
Yes.
you're more used to working with Zoom in the meetings than.
Yeah, I can make sure I can, watch who's raised their hand and bring them in, and yeah. That's what you're asking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. Yes.
And then I think as a committee, we just need to be sure that we're fully engaged in listening, not only to listen to what people say, but also to keep the conversation in the discussion on track and not to take a detour to somewhere we don't want it to go. And I'm happy to do that. If somebody starts to veer off, just be like, whoa, these are the points that we'd like to stay on topic about. Do you have anything to add on those? If not, and then I really hope that people, when they call in, they have questions for us. And I think those questions will just go to the committee. And whoever feels comfortable answering those.
Sounds good.
So, for prompts or just like, as we start adding people to the group so that they can start thinking about the session on the 30th. So I have the 3 questions that it sounds, I have 2 questions we've come up with. Does our community demonstrate a commitment to meeting the needs of residents with disabilities? That's right off the survey.
Yeah.
So I think that's something we definitely want to hear from people about. And then I have, how can the town do more to address issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion in Northborough? That's sort of like the general question. And then I added, what do you want to see from the leadership of the town as it relates to matters of diversity, equity, and inclusion? All 3 of them are from the survey, so.
It's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
The leadership one, people had a tough time with.
Okay, I know where you're going. What if we say the committee?
Yes,
Focus it on us.
yes.
Okay. I know what you're thinking and I get it.
And
Okay.
I think something around how do we continue to make Northborough more welcoming?
Do we think that we might have, well, I guess it depends on who all joins or whatever, but I wonder if we may have some residents struggle with that question too, because they might not feel like they may already feel like we're already welcoming, right? And that there's no real challenge or issue there. So I'm just posing it back to the team. I see where you're going. I like it. I just don't know if we're going to get what we need from that. And maybe we won't know till we ask, but just based on some of the questions or answers that we got to the questions on the survey, I feel like we have to take so many steps back with the community in terms of just really educating, that we might not get value out of the answers from that question. That's just my gut.
I wonder if we frame it more of like what has your experience been, or have you had an experience in town that you want to discuss? And then I'm wondering if that brings up, some of the not problematic, but some of the things we saw in the survey, and that will give us an opportunity to do a little bit of educating in the discussion.
I like that. Yeah, I think it will start to open it up more. We might not get as much of a dialogue if we don't phrase it that way. So that's a good idea, Becca. Thank you.
How many questions do we have?
3 or 4.
I got
We have 4. 4. I think that's good because you don't want to have too many. And I think as you get information, you'll get more. There may be other questions that'll come up, other topics that'll come up, and we'll be getting the information that we need. I don't think we want too many. 4 or 5, I think is good.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
Okay.
Any other ideas on that?
I'd like to take a look at the survey just to see if there are other questions that jump out, if possible.
Okay.
Tim, is it easy enough to send us the actual survey questions in a simpler format?
I have the responses up right now, the PDF, which includes the questions. I'll just forward this to the group right now.
Oh, that's great. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Did anybody have anything else that they wanted to discuss tonight?
I don't know if you saw it, but I shared by email a set of, I guess, holidays, diversity related
Mhm.
holidays. I know that we talked about kind of thinking ahead of time. So lists like that. And I don't know if people have come across other lists or know of lists, but lists like that I think would help us, because I know that, I mean, I don't know them all. But as I was thinking about that, I know that, you know, there are certain axes of diversity that I care a lot about. And I know that each person has the things that they care about. And I don't want us to have blind spots based on, like, there's nobody on the committee that cares about something, not maybe care is the wrong word, but like you have
Not an
these things that are
advocate.
at the top of your mind, but there are a bunch of other things like, I mean, we didn't really, we've been talking a lot about a lot of things. So I don't think this was an oversight or a problem, but I mean, Yom Kippur, we didn't, or the New Year for our Jewish friends. So things like that, I think, even though,
So
I
the
don't
list that
want
you
us to just focus on those who are oppressed or marginalized. I think diversity is important and it's broader than just those groups.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you look at the list, the federal government actually has a list of the recognized event days, and some are that people celebrate are not on that list. Like there are people who celebrate Yom Kippur or, you know, what's the other one?
Rosh Hashanah.
Ramadan,
Rosh Hashanah.
things like that. But the
Mhm.
list that the government published has like the Hispanic, Native American, Black history. It's you can pull it up online and you can see it. And so I think that's a bigger conversation. And I think at one of our meetings, we probably need to put that on an agenda and talk about those and, you know, decide. For an example, Kwanzaa wouldn't be on there, but there are those of us who celebrate Christmas and Kwanzaa. So anyway, that's just my recommendation that we take a look at it. There's a set list of holidays that the government identifies, and Tim mentioned the one about what is it now, Tim? The Asian
Latino
Hispanic Heritage Month.
Latino.
Huh?
Latino Heritage Month.
Latino. That's on that list, for an example. So we should get the list and educate ourselves and then decide what do we want to do. It's a great idea.
Right. So I want to put that out there. I agree with Virginia that it's a bigger discussion, but it's just something that's been on my mind in the last couple of days.
We appreciate you sharing. So thank you for sharing.
I mean, in the interest of keeping a page active, which we have to do if we want people to be drawn to it, we do have to post regularly. That's like the number one rule of having a good Facebook page. So the only thing, Deirdre, about this list is it doesn't have like links to resources.
Mm,
And like, I know we've talked about, like, we don't want to just tell people, we want to give them an opportunity to do a little more digging. So,
we might have to do some more work.
yeah, I think we did, like, I would love to do a post for Hispanic Heritage Month, which is on this list, especially if we're gonna be recognizing it as part of the drawing for Apple Fest. I just want to make sure that the sources we're using are, you know, good.
If you
Good
look at the
sources of
federal
information.
government one, there's you could get the sources and everything, because like, Women March is Women's History Month. February is Black History Month. They're listed, and we may, like you said, we may have to do some research because it all doesn't come like in a packet.
Oh man, when you look up Hispanic Heritage Month, Google has this like whole confetti thing going on.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Anyway.
So one of the things that we talked about including in our report to the Board of Selectmen is a diversity and inclusion event calendar, so that we can provide them with a list of everything that goes on over the course of the year. Along with, we don't have to do something obviously for every event, but for the major events like Black History Month, the town should do something to celebrate Black History Month. Gay Pride Month, the town should do something to celebrate Gay Pride Month. The bigger events, we should put in suggestions on, if not for the event itself, but to work with the Community Affairs Committee to do something for those events. And once we do that in our report and hand that into the Board of Selectmen, we as a committee are done, right? Until the Board of Selectmen says we want to bring back the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee as a permanent committee. And I think once they bring this, if they choose to bring us back as a permanent committee, then we take the next step of getting into the details of what we're going to do, who we're going to work with, what that looks like, what the event looks like, do we need budget, and then we get into the details. Because if the Board of Selectmen chooses not to create a permanent committee for diversity, equity, and inclusion, well, then the responsibility falls on the Board of Selectmen to work out those details, and they could have different ideas of what we have.
Mhm.
So that's just, we're going to be crunched for time as it is to get the report done with the recommendations, not in a general session, but not in a general manner, but not in a detailed manner either. Like, we need to be, my thought is that we need to be somewhere in between.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Yep.
So I think with the list that Deidre shared, like if we were to add something like that to our report, saying these are everything that happens over the course of the year, like January, February, March, and then we highlight what my thought was, highlight one thing every month. These are the things that the town that we recommend as a diversity and inclusion committee that the town should recognize and celebrate each month. And just go
Makes
through,
sense. It makes sense. Okay.
because there's other pieces to having some events in town. Like, does the DPW need to be involved? Does the police department, like it's not just simply showing up and doing things. Like there's other pieces that go that need to be included that are often forgotten about. So those need to be, how big of an event it's going to be. And so,
Okay.
What's next, Ken, Tim?
that's it.
Is that it?
That's it. That's all we had tonight.
Okay.
See y'all Saturday.
Yay. Looking forward to
I
it.
move that we end the meeting.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Virginia, seconded by Deidre. Roll call vote. Everybody's windows moved around. So Becca Meekins,
Aye.
Mary Leach,
Aye.
Deidre Writing,
Aye.
Mika Holland.
I'm sorry. Did we approve the minutes from the other day? We did, right?
Yes.
Okay. Aye.
And Virginia Sims George
Aye.
and I, Tim Kalen, vote aye. So we are officially adjourned.